Welcome back to On the Same Page. We are on Daf Tes Zayin Amud Beis, 16b of Maseches Taanis. We're at the very bottom of the page, the final two lines. The Gemara quotes the Mishnah that the first opinion of the Mishnah said that the first two brachos that we add on the special fast days, the first one is zichronos, remembrances, and the second one is shofros, like trumpet blasts, shofar blasts. And the same verses, the same psukim that we would say on Rosh Hashanah for those sections, we say on these fast days as well. The Mishnah brought a second opinion, which is quoted now by the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda said, Lo hayatzarech lomar zichronos. That it was not necessary to say zichronos, or you wouldn't say zichronos really, or shofros. Rather, he had two other paragraphs that were inserted instead of those to make up the six. So the Gemara says, Amar Rav Ada Deming Yafo. Rav Ada from Yafo said, "My time ad Rabbi Yehuda." What was Rabbi Yehuda's reason why not say zichronos and shofros? And he says, "Lefi she'en omer zichronos v'shofros." And the reason is because we only say these special verses of zichronos and shofros. Top of the next page, it continues. We only say them ela b'Rosh Hashanah u'v'yovelos u'v'shas milchama. We only say them on Rosh Hashanah, of course, and on Yovel, on the Jubilee year. They would say on Yom Kippur the same thing as they would say on Rosh Hashanah. That's a Mishnah in Rosh Hashanah that we learned together that says that the davening of Yovel, of the Yom Kippur of the Jubilee year, was the same as the davening of Rosh Hashanah. And the third time is B'shas Milchama, when they would go out to war, they would also say Zichronos and Shofros. The Rashi says he doesn't know what the source for this is, but that's what the Gemara says here, that would be a third time that they would say it, but otherwise they wouldn't say it. They wouldn't say it on fast days according to Rabbi Yehuda. The Gemara continues and it quotes the Mishnah again, and it quotes Al Rishana Hu Omer Misha Anas Avram. For the first one, you add in he who answer Avram, Chule, and so on. Specifically, what the Gemara is now going to address is the part of the Mishnah that said that for the fourth addition, which is really the third blessing being added, if you recall, each one's one off. For the fourth addition to the Chazin's Shemona Esrei, his repetition, he would say, Misha'ana Shmuel b'mitzpah hu yaneschem, who he answered Shmuel in mitzpah should answer you, and that in the paragraph where you insert Shmuel it ends Baruch atah Hashem shomei tzedakah. Blessed are you, God, who listens to tzedakah, to crying out. And then it said for the fifth one you talk about he who answered Eliyahu on Mount Carmel, and that one concludes Baruch atah Hashem shomei tefillah. Blessed are you, God, who listens to prayer. So the first one is listens to tzedakah, crying out, for Shmuel, and the other one is listens to prayer for Eliyahu. So the Gemara says, Tana, it was taught, Yesh machlifin tzedakah leEliyahu tefillah l'Shmuel. There are some who flipped it, that they said the concluding blessing of Baruch atah Hashem shomei tzedakah, who listens to crying out, they would say that for Eliyahu, and Baruch atah Hashem shomei tefillah, they would say for the paragraph where we mentioned Shmuel. So the Gemara says, Bishlam agabe Shmuel ksiv beit tefillah. I understand by Shmuel that you can switch it, because by Shmuel we find tefillah. Where do we find tefillah? So Rashi mentions that Rashi quotes, it says tefillah by Shmuel, in Shmuel Aleph, Perek Zayin, Kibtzu es kol Yisrael, mitzvah spalo ba'adchem, he says, gather everyone to mitzvah, and I will be mispalo, tefillah, on their behalf. We also find tzedakah, that he cries out, but we also find tefillah, so it's okay to switch that. That I understand. However, says the Gemara, Elo gabe Eliyahu, but with regards to Eliyahu, tefillah ksiv, tzedakah lo ksiv. We find tefillah for Eliyahu, but we don't find tzedakah, we don't find crying out. Eliyahu says, Aneni Hashem, Aneni, answer me Hashem, answer me. And that is tefillah, that's prayer. But where do we find that Eliyahu has tzedakah, that he has crying out? So the Gemara says, The Gemara says, Aneni Hashem Aneni Lashon Tza'akahi. No, that is also a language of crying out. You're right, it's a tefillah, it's a prayer. God, please answer me. That's tefillah, that's prayer. But it's also tza'aka, it's also crying out. And therefore, it is possible to apply the closing Baruch Atah Hashem Shomea Tza'aka to Eliyahu as well. The Gemara continues, it says, Ala Shishi Su Omer, on the sixth one, the Mishnah said, the Gemara now quotes the next part of the Mishnah, Ala Shishi Su Omer, Misha Anas Yona, that the sixth blessing was, or the sixth addition, fifth blessing was, he who answered Yona, and Ala Shvi Su Omer, Misha Anas David, the seventh addition, the sixth blessing was, he who answered David. So the Gemara is bothered by the order. Why are we mentioning Yonah before David if chronologically David and Shlomo came before Yonah? Yonah came in the time, later in the time of the Navi Amaziah. So, or maybe he was a king. So the Gemara says, Mechti, let's see, Yonah basar David, u'Shlomo. Yonah came after David and Shlomo. Hava. My taima makdim le bereisha. Why is it that it puts him first in the order of the brachos of Rosh Hashanah, of the fast day? So the Gemara says, Mishum debayi lemichtam merachem al haaretz. The reason is because we want to close with the blessing of merachem al haaretz. God has mercy on the ground. We want that to be the closing blessing of the 6 added blessings, and that's something that we associate with David and Shlomo, as we mentioned when we learned the Mishnah, that they davened for, Rashi says it here also, they davened for Eretz Yisrael, and therefore it's fitting to close who has mercy on the land with, that should be associated with David and Shlomo. Also possibly Rashi says because they built the Beis HaMikdash, really Shlomo, but with David's assistance, to set him up for it. That's the Aretz. That's the central part of Eretz Yisrael. So therefore, if we want to close with the last additional blessing of Merachim ala Aretz, that God has mercy on the land, so that has to be with David and Shlomo, so they have to come last, even though Yonah lived after them. We put him earlier. Now the Gemara adds one more point. It says, Tana mishum sumchus, Amru, in the name of Sumchus, one of the Tanaim, they said, Baruch Mashbil Haramin. They said a different bracha. Instead of Merachim ala Aretz, the final closing blessing was Baruch Mashbil Haramin. Blessed is the one who lowers the arrogant, the high. That, people are very confident in themselves, and then Hashem says, you're too arrogant, and He cuts off our sustenance, and He cuts off the rain in order to promote teshuvah. So that's the closing blessing. That there's a recognition that Hashem is being mashpil ramin when Hashem takes things away, when He takes away rain or sustenance. So He's reminding us to be more humble. And so the closing blessing, according to Sumchus, was mashpil ramin. He lowers the arrogant. The Mishnah continued, and it said, we quote, Shalosh Taanis Harishonos, for the first 3 fasts, Anshe Mishmar Mis'anin V'lo Mashlimin, those who were on the Mishmar, the family that was serving for that week, but not the special group for that specific day, so they would fast but not finish the fast. They would start the fast. The Mishnah talked about a machlokas about this. Our Gemara is actually focusing on a later point, it says V'chule, right, which means and so on. So focusing on a later part of the Mishnah, where the Mishnah said that the Anshe Mishmar, those who were the family of that week, right? The Mishmar was that a family would have a 2 weeks out of the year that they would serve. There were 24 families of Kohanim. Each one had 2 weeks of the year where they would serve in the Beis HaMikdash. And within those 2 weeks, each individual family within that larger clan had a specific day. They were called the Anshe Beisav. The Mishmar was the general family. The Beisav were the ones for that specific day. And the Mishnah said that the Anshe Mishmar were allowed to drink wine at night, but not during the day. And the Anshe Besav, the ones who were serving that day, could neither drink wine nor at night nor during the day. And this relates to the general halacha that it's forbidden for a Kohen to do avoda, to serve in the Beis HaMikdash, while under the influence of alcohol. So the Mishnah says, the Gemara says, Tanu Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Mipnei ma amru anshe mishmar mutarim lishtos yain b'leilos, aval lo b'yamim. Why is it that they said that the men of the Mishmar, the family of that week, are allowed to drink wine at night, but not during the day? The reason is, says the Gemara, Shema tichbada avoda anshe besav v'yavo v'yisayeyu lahem. It's because maybe the work will be too much for the anshe besav, for the family that is the specific family that's working that day, but maybe there will be, an influx of karbanos, of offerings to bring, or extra things to do in the Beis HaMikdash. They're going to call in backup from the Anshe Mishmar, which could happen. And so at any time, the Anshe Mishmar may be called upon to do avoda, therefore they couldn't drink during the day. However, at nighttime, this wasn't a concern, because there wasn't regular avoda being done at night. There were some leftover jobs maybe, but there wasn't new avoda, new service, new things coming in, and therefore they would never be called on at night, and so it was okay for them to drink wine at night. Now, Mipnei ma amru anshe besav lo bayom v'lo b'layla. And what about the specific family for that day? Why could they not drink neither during the day nor during the night? So we basically said already, Mipnei she'en asukin tamid ba'avoda, because they're always involved in avoda, they're serving that day, so they're involved in the service in the Beis HaMikdash, so they couldn't drink neither during the day nor during the night, because there were some aspects of avoda, of service, even at night. Mikan amru. So based on this, the rabbi said, Kol Kohen shemakir mishmarto. Any Kohen nowadays, when there's no Beis HaMikdash, who knows which mishmar, which general family he's from, umishmeres beis avshalo, and he knows the specific family within the clan, so he knows exactly what day his family would serve in the Beis HaMikdash. V'yodeh shebatei avosav kavuin sham, and he also knows that his family is established, has a good name, and maintained their ability to do avoda, to serve in the Beis HaMikdash. So if he knows all that, asar lishtos yayin kol oso hayom, so that day where his family's turn would be to serve in the Beis HaMikdash, even though there's no Beis HaMikdash now, but mehira yibana, let it be rebuilt soon, he's not allowed to drink on that specific day. Now, b'makir mishmarto ve'eng makir mishmares beisav, let's say he knows the clan of Kohanim that he's from, but he doesn't know the specific family. So he knows which week he would serve, but he doesn't know which specific day of that week he would serve. So then, v'yodea shebati avosav kulin sham, he knows that his family was still in good standing and would serve in the Beis HaMikdash. So then, asar lishtos yayin kol osa Shabbos. Then he can't drink that whole week. Because he knows the week that he should serve, he just doesn't know the day, he can't drink wine the whole week. Eino makir mishmarto mishmaris beis avshalo. Let's say he doesn't know what clan he's from, he doesn't know what family he's from, so he doesn't know which week even he would serve. However, v'yodea shebati avosav kvuin sham, but he knows that he's from a good family that's still in standing in their kahuna, in their ability to serve in the Beis HaMikdash. Asar lishtos yayin kol hashana. He can't drink wine the whole year, because he knows he's from a good Kohen family, doesn't know what day is, or his week, so he's got to be on call every day of the year. He can't drink wine. That's what the Gemara says. Rabbi Omer, this is a brisa. Rabbi says, Omer ani, I say, asr lishtos yayin le'olam. It's forbidden for everybody to drink wine. He may even be including possibly even non-Kohanim, because not everyone knows if perhaps they're from a Kohen family, but certainly if somebody knows that they're a Kohen, but they don't know, but if they know they're a Kohen, even if they know what week they used to serve their family, they know exactly what family they're from, they know what week their family used to serve, but who knows if when they rebuild, speaking our days, we rebuild the Beis HaMikdash, will everybody have the same schedule? Not necessarily. So at any time, someone might be called upon to do avoda, and therefore Rabbi Yehuda Nasi said, really, nobody should drink wine at all. However, aval ma'aseh. But what should I do? He says, shetakanaso kalkolaso. its fixing is its destruction, meaning this that we're being careful about it because the Beis Hamikdash should be rebuilt, but it hasn't been rebuilt, and so waiting so long, it's not really possible to keep. It's sort of like you're saying, the keeping of it is the destruction of it. It can't really be maintained for so long because to go so long, no Beis Hamikdash, and to say nobody could drink wine, that's not really possible. So Amar Abaye. So Abaye says, Kiman Shasua Inna Kani Chamra. So whose opinion is it that Kohanim can drink wine? So we see actually from here, Rebbe was specifically talking about Kohanim. People who know that they're Kohanim should not be able to drink wine at all, because who knows when their term is going to be in the Beis Hamikdash, and maybe the Beis Hamikdash will be rebuilt, they'll be called upon to serve. Rebbe said it's impossible. So Abaye says, so which opinion is it that we allow Kohanim nowadays to drink wine? Rebbe, it's in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi. The Gemara continues, it says, Anshe Mishmar v'Anshe Maimad Asurim l'saper l'chabes. It says that the Anshe Mishmar, this family that's serving, the clan that's serving that week in the Beis Hamikdash, as well as the Anshe Maimad, who were the people, they were not Kohanim, they were there to daven along with each carbon that it should be accepted. So all of these people, they all have like a term of service in the Beis Hamikdash. During their week of service, they're not allowed to take haircuts or shave. Ulechabes, they can't do laundry. Uvechamishi, however, on Thursdays, mutarin, they're allowed to mipnei kvod Shabbos in honor of Shabbos. Says the Gemara, my taima, what's the reason that they weren't allowed to shave, take haircuts, or do laundry? Amar Rabbi Bar Bechana, Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Bar Bechana said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Kadesh lo yikansu lemishmartam kishehem menuvalin. The reason is that they don't enter their term, their mishmar, looking bad. It's just like Chol HaMoed. We say the same thing. You're not allowed to take a haircut or do laundry in Chol HaMoed because we want to make sure you do it before Yom Tov. So the same thing with them. In order to ensure that they were ready before their term, they came to the Beis HaMikdash looking proper and, with laundered clothes, clean shaven, well, I don't know, clean shaven, but nicely shaven, nice haircuts, looking good, for the, befitting the position that they were now to fulfill. So we said, you're not allowed to do this after you arrive. You got to do it before. However, on Thursdays, they were allowed to in honor of Shabbos. Tana Rabban, the rabbi is talking a brisa. Melech mistaper b'chol yom. A king takes a haircut every day. Kohen Gadol me'erev Shabbos l'erev Shabbos. The Kohen Gadol, the high priest, would do it every Friday. Kohen Hedyot achas l'shloshim yom. And a regular Kohen should get a haircut every 30 days. These are requirements. Why? Melech mistaper b'chol yom, my time. What's the reason that a king should get a haircut every day? Amar Rabbi Abba bar Zavda Amar Kra Rabbi Abba bar Zavda quoting a pasuk. The pasuk says in Yeshaya, it says Melech b'yafyo techazena einecha. That king in his beauty your eyes should see. That people should see a king looking good, and therefore he should take a haircut every day. Kohen Gadol me'erev Shabbos l'erev Shabbos my taima. Why should a Kohen Gadol get a haircut every Friday? Amar Rav Shmuel bar Yitzchak. Because that's when the new Mishmar would come in. Because the new Mishmar, the new term, would come in every Friday, or every Shabbos really, I believe. So right before Shabbos, I think they would switch. So therefore, the Kohen Gadol should look best when they come in, because that's also when it makes the impact, is how he looks when you arrive. And then if they see him growing in, they don't really notice it. But if they show up and he's unkempt, then they'll notice that. And the Kohen Gadol should look respectable for the new Mishmar, the new group of Kohanim coming in. Kohen Hedyot achas l'shloshim yom. And the Kohen Hedyot should get a haircut once every 30 days. Minalan. What's the source for that? Asya para minaz. We have a Gezerah Shava. We learn a comparison of the word para by Kohanim to the word para by Nazir, by a Nazirite. Ksivhacha, it says here with regards to Kohanim, it says, V'rosham lo yigalechu. They should not shave their hair, their heads. Upera lo yishalechu, but they shouldn't grow their hair out wildly. Para means to grow wild. They shouldn't allow their hair to grow wild. Uksiv hasaman, by a nazir it says, kadosh yeh gadel para sarosho. A nazir is the opposite. The nazir is supposed to grow his hair. It says he should be holy. He should grow out his hair. So it says a Kohen should not allow his hair to grow out wild, and a nazir should allow his hair to grow wild. Now, what's growing your hair wild? How long is that? How long do you grow your hair before we consider it para, to be growing wild? So, ma'ala halan shloshim yom, shloshim, just like by a nazir it's 30 days. Afkan shloshim, so by a Kohen also, it's 30 days. The nazir gufei minal, ask the Gemara, how do you know that by a nazir it's 30 days? Doesn't say, it just says a nazir shouldn't allow his hair to grow wild. Or should let his hair grow wild. How long is that? It doesn't say it's 30 days. Minalan, so what's the source that it's 30 days? Amar of Masna, because stam naziros shloshim yom, because a stam, the basic, the normal term and minimum term of a nazir is 30 days. Minalan. Now how do we know that? So Amar kra yiyeh. There's an extra word that it says kadosh yiyeh. He should be holy. I believe that this word is extra. I guess it's possible that it's not extra, but you could still learn something out from it, because begematria tlasin habe. Says the Gemara, the word yiyeh, the gematria is 30. Yud is 10, hey is 5, Yud is 10, hey is 5, 15, 30. So it says kadosh yiyeh, he should be holy, yiyeh, for 30. So that's at least a remez, a hint, the idea that the basic term of a nazir is 30 days. So the nazir lets his hair grow for 30 days, and it says that he should let his hair be para, 30 days, and it says a Kohen should not allow his hair to be para, to be wild, so he shouldn't allow it to grow for 30 days, he should get a haircut at least every 30 days. Amar le Rav Papa le Abaye, Rav Papa said to Abaye, V'dilma hachi kamar Rachmana, maybe what the Torah is telling us is as follows. It's really a pasuk in Yechezkel that they shouldn't allow their hair to grow wild. Maybe it's saying that it shouldn't grow at all. They shouldn't allow it to grow out at all. How often should they cut it? Not clear, but maybe 30 days is too much also. Maybe they should get it every day, right? Who knows? But who says that they are allowed to let it grow for 30 days? It says they shouldn't allow it. Para lo yishalechu. They shouldn't allow it to grow for 30 days. Or they shouldn't allow it to get into para mode. So maybe it means they should cut their hair every day. So Amar le, he said back to him, Ihava ksav lo yishalechu para kideka marta. Had it said they shouldn't send out para, they shouldn't send out wildness, so maybe that would be like you say, they shouldn't even let it start. Don't send out any wild hair. Don't even let it start. But hashta dechsivu para lo yishalechu. But that's not what it says. It doesn't say they shouldn't send out any wild hair. It says their wild hair they shouldn't send out. Meaning they're allowed to let it reach the point of para. Para lehave, right? It's allowed to reach the point of para, of wild hair, up to 30 days. But shluchi yudelo lishalchu. But they can't send it more than that. They can't do more than 30 days. The Gemara says, okay, so that's the source for 30 days. They shouldn't. That a regular Kohen has to get his haircut at least every 30 days, because after that it's para and they're still allowing it to be sent forth. The Gemara says, Ihachi, if so, afilaha idnanami. So even nowadays, a Kohen should have to get his haircut every 30 days. That seems to be the halacha. Well, we don't have such a halacha. So why is a Kohen allowed to let his hair grow for more than 30 days? So the Gemara says, Dumya dishtuya yayim. It's the same as the halacha with regards to drinking wine. Mashtu yayim bisman bia huda aser, shelo bisman bia shari. Just like we said earlier in the Gemara that the prohibition against drinking wine is only when the Kohanim are actually going to the Beis HaMikdash. Then they are not allowed to drink wine. But when the Kohanim are not going to the Beis HaMikdash, it's permitted. Afhacha here also, afhacha nami. So the same thing with the haircut. The haircut is only necessary when they're actually serving in the Beis HaMikdash, But when they're not serving in the Beis HaMikdash, it is not necessary for them to get a haircut. Right. This I don't even think this is referring to This is not even referring to the subtle point about the Kohanim needing to make sure not to drink wine. Right. We said no. It's true. There may be a concern that this Kohen will be called upon, and therefore he shouldn't drink wine. But otherwise, if not for that, a Kohen who's not serving is allowed to drink wine. Right. The rest of the year, the Kohen was allowed to drink wine. So in general, the halach is a Kohen is not serving is allowed to drink wine. So too, a Kohen is not serving doesn't need to keep his hair cut. Only when he's serving is it necessary for him to keep his hair cut. That seems to be what the Gemara is suggesting. Okay, we'll pick up. The Gemara is going to examine this further. We'll continue with that next time.